So the piece I'm going to share with you guys today is a piece that I wrote after a friend of ours was killed in a motorcycle accident, and another friend of ours held him during his dying breaths. And I just thought about this piece today as I was going through some of my work for something else. I thought about how in these current times we've kind of lost track of some of the other, critical things that we deal with on a daily basis, like, fatalities in car accidents and the increase in these fatalities being caused by reckless or distracted or careless drivers. And so some of you don't know, I am a motorcycle survivor, and my husband and I, 4 weeks before our wedding, 26 years ago, we were hit by a vehicle who was going the wrong way to make a turnaround, and that has left, lasting, I deal with the injury on a daily basis, even 26 years later. But every year I'm reminded about how I'm living my second life, and I don't take that for granted. And I also don't take biking safety or any type of recreational vehicle use for granted. And so, we helmet up when we use any of these types of vehicles. And our friend, unfortunately, wasn't wearing a helmet, but that is not what took his life. What took his life was the impact. He was broadsided by a car. And so, at any rate, this piece is for you, Tony. On impact. Chest compressions don't resuscitate him because his organs are mush. We're all turned to mush on impact, like the attending tells you in the ER when they pronounce your friend dead. Mush like your own thoughts and movements are in those initial moments when you hold him, telling him, "Hang on, buddy, help's on the way." Though his vacant doe eyes tell you his help now belongs to another world you know little or nothing about, now that you're forced to think about all of this. It should have been you at the lead of your triangular formation. Your motorcycle the distracted driver broadsides when she pulls from the gas station without even looking your way. You or the other veteran driver, though you started off the ride as leader and still can't pinpoint why your buddy pulled ahead of you moments before the crash. It should have been you is all you think as you hold your friend during his last foam-mouthed breaths, his convulsions echoing your quickened pulse. The approaching sirens are stalled by gridlock traffic, some drivers snapping shots as they roll by. You've since pressed his eyes shut and moved from his side again so the teenage driver can step over his lifeless body to get back into her car, as if he's inconvenient roadkill pinned beneath her tire that she's yet figured out how to extract. Each time she passes over your friend, you gauge her expressions, looking for a flicker of remorse or any other slew of appropriate emotions that'll make her human for you instead of the monster you watch smirk at her phone screen as she fires off texts. You emphasize these observations to the responding officer, who keeps calling it a random accident, though you and other witnesses write in your reports that she never even looked your way before pulling out, that she appeared distracted. You press your fists to your thighs as you point out calling it random makes his life no more than a cosmic blip and driving a game of chance. You agreed to the sobriety test and breathalyzer, even though you weren't speeding, at fault, or even in the collision. The officer promises a full investigation of her phone and app logs, a promise he'll retract when interviewed later by the local newspaper for a follow-up column. You know not to read the comments on the article page, but here you sit, night after sleepless night, reading the clueless posts left by self-made experts who know all there's to know about motorcycle safety in accidents, who, without reading the article or seeing the wreck, spew insults at the cyclist dumb enough to ride without a helmet, and coin the teenager a poor soul whose punishment will be enough just living with the knowledge she took another life. Your screaming at the backlit screen rouses your spouse from shallow sleep but does nothing to stifle the feeds that pick up momentum at the mention of no helmet. Maybe you justify he's the lucky one in all this. He's free of this whacked out world with its whacked out people who decide our future. Maybe it hits you. You should be the one the mortician paints to convey eternal peacefulness. You should be the one at rest forever, whose days don't orbit around reliving your lifelong friend fade into nothing in your arms. Well, I hope you can appreciate this piece and that you're inspired by the courage that it took for our friend to share this story with me so that I could share it with you. Have a great day. Talk to you tomorrow.